Shalom. I want to start giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Baruch HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching of scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Yakim across the earth doing this work in sincerity and truth. Shalom. So here you see a picture. I took it from an article. I just downloaded the picture, and as you can see Jacob descendants, taking part of a so-called pride parade, which is nothing to be proud of, which is a sin, and it's a horrible thing to see Jake doing that. And of course, when Jake does that, of course they've been pushing it more. This article was talking about that, parade going on yesterday in the city of Swallow, which is a city in Holland. And, this also shows us that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's the book of Job 9:24 states, and because, first, this whole thing began with one Saturday, then they start, turn into a week, they already dedicate a whole month. You got the whole Pride Month going on. I believe it's June or July, I'm not sure. It's not really important. You can look it up for yourself. But anyway, the fact is they committed the whole month for this sodomy. And then you should think, after a whole month, it's supposed to be enough, right? So here we are in August, the end of August, and then they again have a parade going on. They already had a parade in Amsterdam and in Utrecht, and I know maybe some other places also. I don't know. I'm not really following that nonsense, but I stumbled upon this. I'm like, man, and I saw Jake in the pictures. They had a bunch of pictures, and I saw Jake, and of course they're going to take a picture of it. I'm like, man, fuck, man. Our people ain't supposed to do that, man. We ain't supposed to do that, Like the scripture said, don't follow a multitude to do evil. And the scriptures are very clear concerning all this. Let me start with this. It's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spaketh unto you, O house of Israel, the children of Israel, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and the so-called Indianos, and those that go back to the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Because nowadays our people look, scriptures talk about my nation is like a speckled bird. Our people nowadays, our people are looking to all these nations, because if you lay down as a man, as a dark-skinned man, lay down with a white woman, he's gonna get a son. His son is gonna look, I said it, a so-called mixed child. His color gonna be less brown. And if his son grow up and also gonna lay down with another white woman, then the child that he's gonna get most likely gonna look like a so-called white boy. Meanwhile, he goes back to Israel, Same with another nation, with the Chinese or whatever, whatever nation. Like in the time of the Vietnam War, a lot of Jacob descendants went to fight for America in Vietnam. They went over there. They found the Vietnam women very pleasing, and they were how you say that, getting children with them. And when their children growing up and they keep on living there, eventually they're gonna look like the Vietnam people over there, like the Moabites over there. That's the thing that's gonna happen. That's why I say, as long as you go back, if in your lineage just go back, and the Spirit also always will show you if somebody is a Jacob descendant or not. You will feel it through the Spirit, There's a certain connection, and then like, yeah, that's Jake, But yeah, like I said, first and foremost, the law, statutes, and commandments were for the children of Israel, So these are rules for us. For example, if you have children, in your house, they have to obey by your laws, If there are other children outside from somebody else, you don't give a shit about them. The same is for the Most High. The Most High only care for the children of Israel. That's why we went to all these things. That's why we went in slavery and all that, Because we didn't want to hearken to the law, statutes, and commandments. We didn't want to hearken to the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Until this day, the majority of people don't want to do it. And that's why they're going to find out the hard way. But yeah, back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10. And 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh spaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said Yahweh, Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Yeah, for when you see a blood moon, those things are for us for a sign. When you see a chariot, we know that those are the vehicles of the Most High, of the angels, showing us that, that they're watching us. And don't follow the ways of the heathens. Because they are all doing all kinds of bullshit, man. Don't forget, what the Hamites also are very about sodomy, a lot of crazy shit. Uh, Drinking cow piss and all that. The heathens, man. They got a lot of shit going on, man. And yet our people want to follow the heathens, man. Until this day, man. Let me see. This is the book, and this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not the way it's supposed to be. I remember, like, the president of Uganda. At one time, he had two sodomite men. He plucked it because over there is forbidden. The majority of the countries there over there in Africa is forbidden to be a sodomite, which is good. Recently in Curacao, in the Caribbean, Curacao and Aruba, they made it legal for people of the same sex to marry together. Which is not, they didn't change the law, because in the law it states that a marriage is between a man and a woman. And that's also how it's supposed to be. That's how the Most High have ordained it. It's only a man and a woman. That's the only way that you can continue your bloodline. So the president of Uganda, he grabbed the two sodomites, threw them in prison, and told them, if y'all make a baby, y'all are free to go. So he just, on that moment, he just gave them life. But yeah, that's also the thing, because Curacao is a colony of Holland. I did a video on that. You can watch it on my channel. But Curacao is a colony of Holland. So in Holland, first Curacao, they don't want to accept the fact that sodomies, that this people of the same sex were able to marry. So they were busy to fight that. But then in Den Haag, the Hoge Rechtshof, the High Court in Den Haag overruled that and said, they went an appeal against it, and they said that from now on it's legal in Curacao and Aruba for people of the same sex to marry. And of course, you had two nigger females, excuse me, not woman. The woman means to serve. Two females, two so-called, no, two black females, because they void of light, void of knowledge, void of everything. So, but yeah, nevertheless, all sin can be forgiven. But two females, they got married, of course, and the people there took a lot of pictures, and it was a great happening there. And of course, they tried to push it to the max, but yeah, a lot of people were not really feeling it. But that shows you that, even as an island, that the majority of people are not down with that. They still have to accept the thing that Esau be pushing, and that's also part of our punishment for us being under our enemies. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 26. And the power said, "Let us make man in." Then the power said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowls, over the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." And that also shows you that the state that we are in nowadays, that we are afraid of dogs, spiders, snakes, and whatever, lions, tigers, bears. There was not meant to be like that. We suppose the Most High actually meant it for us to be above him, that the animals would be hearkening unto us. Don't forget that Adam was naming all the animals. Let me see. So the powers created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him, and male and female created he them. And the powers blessed them, and the powers said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." So that already shows you that, So be fruitful and multiply. And people want to talk about, it's nature, this and that. Okay, it's nature. If I take a bunch of sodomites, man. I put them on an island, and I take a bunch of sodomites females, because it's only male and female. You also got a lot of bogerness going on about there, 360 sexes and all that. Yeah, it's cool. If you have those with a wiener, those sodomites with a wiener, I put them on an island. The sodomites with a JJ, I put them on an island. And then I go back after, let's say, 80 years, 70 years. I go to the island, to both of the islands, and gonna check if they multiplied. I'm gonna see that maybe some of them are still alive, but there's not gonna be more of them. They're just gonna die off because they cannot bring forth nothing but diseases. Yeah, but that's it. So that already shows you that it's not natural. So you want to talk about, yes, nature, this and that is nature. Okay, so then you can go on an island and continue with your nature until you are destroyed by yourself. Till there's none of y'all left, man. Let me see. Let me jump to Romans. Yeah, and this is not a natural way. It's a filthy thing. It's a filthy thing. The Bible really, discussed that. You also got sodomy churches and all that going on, showing you that they're not working with the Most High. People that don't want to read the Bible, man. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 1, and verse 26. For this cause the Most High gave them up to vile affection, for even the women did change the natural use to that which is against nature. Oh, it's all natural, this and that. And likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the woman. Yeah, it's a normal thing, there's nothing wrong with that. Leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another, man with man working that which is unseemly, and receiving in himself that recompense of their error which was meet. Yeah, man, it's a fucking error, filthy shit. It's grown man playing with doo-doo. There's nothing natural about that. There's nothing clean about that. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, and he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon it. So those were the laws back then, but nowadays we're living under our enemies, and that is not the way. We cannot do that, but the scriptures teach you, like, okay, you can put them to death, and it's going to be a good thing, but that time is going to come. But for now, we ain't supposed to do that. The scriptures also teach us, and I'm just going to read it. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6 and verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So all things are lawful for me, but not all things are expediently. So meanwhile, the scriptures tell us, if you see sodomites, you can put them to death. It's a righteous thing to do. This is not the time to do, because we're living under the enemies. We still are under their rules, and I'm also going to read that in Romans chapter 13, because the Most High put them over us, so we have to live by their rules. But meanwhile, it doesn't mean that you have to do the things that they're doing, So they're protecting the sodomy, so we don't mess with the sodomy. Because if you put these sodomies to death, you're going to end up in jail, and that way, that's not you ain't going to achieve nothing with that, Better wait for Yahushua to come back, and then the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High gonna be kept all over the world. The whole plan gonna be under the laws, statutes, and commandments. And our people gonna be righteous. We're gonna have the laws, statutes, and commandments writing in our mind, so we won't go off. We will do everything perfect the way the Most High had ordained it from the beginning. And let me jump to chapter 13, because that shows us that we still have to keep the rules that they have, and like, for example, like I said, you don't have to do the shit that they be doing, because You know that they let me see, was it it was Romans chapter 13? Yeah, because was it, I want to say something. Yeah, for example, you don't have to do the shit that they do, but we have to keep the rules, For example, they how you say that? A lot of these heathens, they eat pork, they eat shrimp, crab and lobsters. We don't have to do those things. You can eat chicken, you can eat your beef, you can eat a goat, sheep, venison, like a deer. Those are things, for example, just a few things that are lawful to eat. Fish with scales and fins, those are things that are lawful to eat. We don't have to do the things that they do, but certain laws you just have to keep. Even though it doesn't make sense. You still have to do it. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So if you're going against their laws and for example, hunting down these sodomites, you're going against the Most High. You're going against the Most High because he had put this devil over us. Yeah, we didn't want to listen. So yeah, but his rulership is coming to an end, but nevertheless, he's still in power. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertain unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman garment, for all that do so are abomination unto Yahweh thy power. So this cross dresses, travesty, all this shit, is also going against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So we ain't supposed to do that, and they like to put it in movies like it's a joke, like Big Mama and, with Martin Lawrence and, Eddie Murphy with Mad Professor and all that, white chicks, Wayne Brothers, all that shit. The shit, we ain't supposed to do that, period. And I'm talking about we are the children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and so-called Indians, because we, the Most High have given us the law, statutes, and commandments. He doesn't give a shit about the other nations, And I'm going to read that in a moment. Let me see. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, and chapter 23 and verse 1. He that is wounded in the stone or had his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High. So all these sex changes, that cutting the wiener off and then have an open wound and calling that a vajayjay, all that shit, you ain't gonna make it, man. You're done. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So, the law, statutes, and commandments are first and foremost only for the children of Israel. And those who are going to keep it, first and foremost, are the elect, So, yeah. Yeah, man. And of course, like I said, we keep those law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability because it's not possible to keep them all. 613 law, statutes, and commandments, and we still are under our enemies. But a lot of things that are easy to do. For as a man, stop shaving your beard. You don't really have to have a big beard, but you at least stop shaving it and keep it at least like a half a centimeter or something, And that's easy. You only have to do is the only thing that you have to do is let it grow, And the dietary law is also not too difficult to follow, Just read the ingredients because they like to lace a lot of things with pork, Also toothpaste and all these things, So yeah, that's a question of reading, So that's also a thing that is possible, Those are just a couple examples of things that are easy to keep, So yeah. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Waharuka Kudash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching the scriptures, among other things. And salutations to Akim across the earth doing this work in sincerity and truth. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters who are at home, do their best to please Yahweh Basham Yahshai. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.